Does he also know that he's the father?
Sure this isn't just a scam to get your cash?
Whenever he's around, bad things happen.
What was Tracy's excuse this time?
You should be thanking me. I know exactly what I need.
This is our prom.
Yes, if you're going to confide your deepest, darkest secret about fatherhood, Jason is definitely your guy. The dude's got loyalty down to an art form. He'd take that secret to his grave without a second thought. And as for Tracy, well, we've got a full spectrum of her moods. Nice, calculating, and downright mean. Personally, I'm a fan of the first two. Calculating Tracy? She's a blast. But flat-out mean Tracy? No thanks. Keep her locked up in a cage somewhere. By the way, let's set the record straight. Jack wasn't the one putting out hits on Valentin. It was that woman who works for him. Jack specifically told her he didn't want Valentin harmed. Of course, she apologized and Jack was ready to fire her. Very dramatic, really. And wow, I almost forgot Emma was even back. Why is Gio even still around? Tracy is seriously the only thing keeping the show from falling apart. Honestly though, what was the point of bringing Emma back? She's just a mess. Anna too, clueless as ever. The whole thing is falling apart. Oh, and Michael? Totally not dead. Jason will protect Sasha, but trust me, he won't be claiming that baby as his. That would just make him as slimy as Drew. Plus, why would Jason want to keep Sunny and Carly from recognizing their grandkid? Not sure that's even in the cards. And honestly, why hasn't anyone brought Cyrus in for questioning yet? I can't stand that guy. Seriously, someone needs to just get rid of him already. Drew's hosting a game show now, so maybe that's his exit? I wouldn't be surprised if Willow and Michael ended up back together. They're both a little messy, but it makes sense. As for Sasha, maybe she'll give her baby up to Brooklyn. Who knows at this point? And don't forget, Sidwell knows Sasha's pregnant with Michael's kid. He was literally lurking in the back of that church. We all saw him. Jack versus Valentin? Look, Jack's going to be just fine, but Valentin? That dude better find a hole to crawl into and stay there. Carly, though, she's going to be the hero we all need. My heart goes out to Chase. He would have made an amazing dad, but hey, adoption's always an option. So many babies out there just waiting for a loving family. And Lois, she knows Gio is BLQ's son, but she hasn't figured it out yet. Oh, when she does, watch out. It's going to be another Quartermain family explosion. Cody's actually going to turn out to be Gio's father, not Dante. Call it a gut feeling. Now, I've got a hunch that Jason's going to step up for Sasha and claim the baby's his, just to protect Michael. I've never trusted Brennan either. He's definitely up to something sketchy. I'm pretty sure he's using Carly to take down Sunny. Carly should seriously start listening to Felicia. She knows exactly what's going on. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Lois look at Gio today, or was it yesterday? Sealed the deal. He's definitely Dante and Brooklyn's son. The second Gio showed up in Port Charles and mentioned that Uncle Sonny had been financially supporting his education. I couldn't help but wonder, does Sonny know Gio's his grandson? After all, he didn't even know Dante was his son until 15 years ago. That reveal was a total mess, and honestly, Sasha's pregnancy announcement was definitely a hard way to find out. But when they did the wide shot, I swear she looked like she was already showing. Maybe it was just me, but Jason pieced things together so fast. I'm almost expecting him to step up and claim paternity. I mean, I love that he'd be there for family, but honestly, Drew's more than enough drama to handle. I don't need to watch Jason swooping in on his nephew's ex, too. But hey, Tracy's going to have a field day with that one. I almost died laughing when Ned politely told her off. Honestly, good for him. Then there's the shocker about Brennan. I couldn't believe someone was out for his blood, and even more shocking, it was Valentin. But then again, Brennan works for pikemen, and Valentin's done a lot of dirty work for him. Alexa's going after Sam's killer? Oh, that's not going to end well. She barely got away from Julian, and trust me, she won't get away from Cyrus. As for Jason, yeah, he's going to act like that's his baby with Sasha, and it won't be long before Brooklyn figures out Gio is her son. Eventually, Jack and Carly will sleep together, don't ask me how or why, and Valentin will know Jack was the one trying to have him killed. The one thing Valentin doesn't get, it wasn't Brennan who was trying to kill him. In fact, Brennan was livid about the woman who actually was. Oh my god, has soap opera writing always been this mind-numbingly ridiculous? And I just never noticed before? Brennan gets strangled for several seconds, but sure, he survives, because obviously that's how it works. And of course, there's no mark on his neck, because why would there be? Totally plausible. And let's talk about Valentin. Since when does he fail to finish the job? That's the kind of stuff we just gloss over, right? Now, Michael goes up in flames, and yet, he somehow still has a full head of hair. Sorry, but that's not how fire works. And Emma? Oh, she's back in Port Charles, grating on everyone's nerves as usual. But hey, she likes animals, so I guess that makes her okay now. Makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, they bring back Lulu, and somehow manage to make her even more unbearable than Emma. Are this the strong women the writers think we're supposed to cheer for? Because honestly, yuck. But there's a silver lining. Martin giving Tracy a hard time is definitely the highlight. Finally, someone standing up to her. And oh look, it seems like they're setting up Jason and Sasha. Sure, it could work? Maybe. Sasha's the type of woman who'd let Jason feel like a hero. But I can't help but think it would be hilarious if Jason turned out to be Willow's hero instead. That would send Drew completely off the rails. Now, let's talk about Sasha for a minute. She's a few weeks pregnant, still in her first trimester, and suddenly her baby is kicking? Yeah, nope, not buying it. And then we have all this drama about Gio. Lois had her sister adopt him, and now Sunny's supposed to know, because he's been financially supporting him his whole life. Lois and Brooklyn are about to spill the beans, but here's the catch. Gio has no idea he was adopted, and there may not even be any adoption papers. Back in the day, people used to get real creative with these things, faking pregnancies and all that. But my real concern is Gio. How's he going to handle this bombshell when it all comes out? Honestly, I'm thinking his biological dad is probably Cody, not Dante. I mean, Brooklyn and Cody had a little fling behind Dante's back, and boom, pregnancy at summer camp. I guess we're all just supposed to assume Gio is Dante and Brooklyn's kid, because, sure, why not? The look on Lois's face said it all. And speaking of Willow, her telling Chase he couldn't father a child? Yeah, that was beyond wrong, especially when it wasn't even her place to say. How do we even know she told the truth? He's probably going to run straight to Brooklyn with that bombshell, without even getting a second opinion from a doctor. What is going on with these writers? Chase delivers the news to Brooklyn, and of course, the first thing she does is reach out to Lois. The look on Lois's face, priceless. It's like she's already bracing for another emotional roller coaster. As Brooklyn spills the details, Lois is clearly thinking it's time to tell Chase about her first pregnancy and the adoption. But should she? Oh, you know it's going to be a total mess when that secret comes out. The fallout is going to be devastating, and I'm not sure if anyone involved will ever really recover. Forget forgiveness. It'll be a long time coming, if ever. And honestly, I'm really starting to hate this twist in the Chase and Brooklyn story. Why can't we get one happy, normal couple for once? We already saw the same drama with Molly and TJ not long ago. Didn't the writers remember that? So who do we think should be Brooklyn and Chase's sperm donor? I'm guessing they're probably going the sperm donor route, and honestly, I'm kind of leaning toward Finn. That way, at least Chase would be related to the kid. Plus, I'm pretty sure Finn's mature enough to avoid pulling a Christina and trying to claim the baby as his own. This could also be a chance to bring Finn and Violet back for a couple of episodes, which, would be nice, right? So what's your take? Should it be Finn? Or do you think we should just go with Anonymous to keep things exciting? Personally, though, I'm not sure anyone really needs to repeat the whole surrogacy drama so soon. Maybe throw in a plot twist where someone at GH messes with the lab results. Maybe a cop who's secretly in league with Cyrus. That'll keep us on our toes. But honestly, do these two even need a kid? Like, if Violet had never mentioned wanting a cousin, I doubt we even have this storyline. And with the whole Geo reveal coming up, maybe Brooklyn and Chase don't need to rush into parenthood just yet. Also, if you're asking me, I wouldn't trust anyone with a history of chemical dependence to be a sperm donor for anything. I don't care if they're a fan favorite or not. As for where the story goes next, I'm honestly hoping for something different than the usual soap couple desperately wants a kid plot. Maybe Brooklyn and Chase just decide to embrace the child-free life for a bit. It won't be long before BLQ's big secret blows up anyway and wrecks their relationship. But hey, who doesn't love a little chaos? Blair Kramer's on the phone. Now that would be something to see. I swear, I was always hoping they'd just merge Landview and Port Chuck, or at least send a few of those Landview folks over to spice things up a bit. I'm kind of glad Brooklyn gave Little Miss Perfect a reality check, but honestly, someone needs to throw Lulu's history with Dylan right in her face. It's beyond me that Maxie turned into her BFF after Lulu totally screwed over Georgie. Like, seriously? And Maxie forgiving Lulu for what happened with Nathan? I honestly can't wrap my head around it. If it were me, I don't think I'd be able to let that go. But the real kicker is Lulu. I get why she's holding a grudge against BLQ for the whole Carly paying her to seduce Dante thing. Fair enough, but how is she not still mad at Carly? Then she goes and pulls this big hypocrisy act. Lulu cheated on Dylan, broke Georgie's heart, got pregnant and all. If you're going to throw stones from your glass house, at least make sure it's bulletproof. Brooklyn's first child. I've had this hunch ever since he showed up in Port Charles, and we found out Brooklyn gave up a baby for adoption. But tonight? Well, that just sealed the deal for me. I'm convinced he's her son. Let's be real here, though. The vast majority of the audience has seen this coming from a mile away. This isn't exactly breaking news. We've been stuck in this drawn-out storyline for what feels like forever. Can we just wrap it up before Cyrus decides to start getting involved with some sort of dramatic needle? Here's my theory. Lois probably arranged the adoption and sent him to some friend of the family who couldn't have kids. So yeah, Lois absolutely knows her grandchild is living under the same roof. Honestly, they've been beating us over the head with this for weeks now. How many more intense close-ups of Lois giving Geo those meaningful stares before they finally spill the beans? It's getting real old. They totally dropped the ball with Lucky's storyline. I was genuinely hoping for something interesting when he came back all moody and brooding, constantly telling everyone how much of a terrible person he was, and how he didn't deserve anything, especially not love. He was clearly hinting at some dark things he'd done while he was gone. And then, in an iconic moment, he tells his mom he doesn't deserve her love. Cue the tortured, brooding look, which honestly he nails. And nothing. No big reveal, no character growth, no journey to redemption, nothing. It's like they forgot they had an actual storyline there. And don't get me started on how he didn't even make it up to Aiden, Cam, or Jake, who, by the way, he raised until Cam was 8. But hey, why bother with those characters when they could just focus on Drew 24/7? Maybe JD should have asked to see the script before coming back, though I'm guessing that's not really a thing. But hey, why bother with complex, interesting stories when corporate interference and a conservative fan base just want everything to be safe and tidy, right? Look at the Drew or Willow backlash. If that's not a sign of how little they're willing to risk, I don't know what is. Let's get one thing straight. I'm not exactly Team Sunny or Team Ava here. I mean, they both have their charm, if you find chaos and bad decisions endearing. But let's talk about this whole Sunny's children are constantly getting hurt or killed thing. The reason that keeps happening is not because Sunny's a walking disaster. It's because he's got a lot more kids to mess up in the first place. Like, if you've got more kids, the odds are, well, they're not great, are they? No one seems to remember that Kiki got murdered because Ava was completely duped by an actual serial killer. Not because she was out there living her best life as a villain. But of course, that's not as dramatic, is it? Meanwhile, Sunny's business, where people literally explode, is what keeps putting his kids in danger. It's not a case of more kids, more disaster. It's just that his kids are more likely to explode because, he's in the mafia. Now, I know neither of them is winning any parenting awards, but here's the thing. Avery might be better off with Ava. Yes, Ava, because at least Ava isn't risking her kids' lives by operating in a dangerous criminal empire. Plus, by the time this case actually gets to court, Avery might be 18 anyway. But let's be real, Dante should get custody. The guy's the only one who's stable and responsible enough to make sure Avery actually grows up in a somewhat normal environment. Because, newsflash, Sunny's lifestyle isn't exactly the poster child for safety and emotional stability. So wait, if Gio is possibly BLQ's son, who's the father? Just out of curiosity, and to the people insisting it's Dante, thanks for the clarification, I guess. Before the whole BLQ speculation started, back when we were all pretending Gio was just some random Sunny wannabe, because that was his personality for a hot minute, I honestly thought maybe Cody was the dad. I mean, he's definitely the type, and while I don't think a kid would fix him, he's in such a mess of a place that I thought maybe a son could help pull him out of his downward spiral. And for those who Chef's Kiss suggested Diego, perfect. That would have been an absolute plot twist, honestly. But nope, let's just go with Dante because, the show's been dropping hints so unsubtly that even the most oblivious viewer can catch them. A twist? Sure, it'd be wild if it turned out he's Cody's kid like some people are speculating. But if that's the case, then he and Emma would technically be cousins, considering their grandfathers are brothers. So yeah, that's a fun little family reunion, right? The real kicker here is the fact that they're retconning BLQ so hard. Like, did no one remember her teen years in PC during the early mid-zeros when she was dating Diego Alcazar? If she had a secret kid back then, it would have been his. But apparently, the historian has forgotten to read the actual history of the show. And Dante, of course, if you missed all the subtle hints, or just ignored them, the biggest one came the moment Lulu woke up. Oh, and that chat between Cody and Dante in the stables. Yeah, Dante's totally forgotten how much he talked about Brooklyn to Cody. But surprise, there's a lot more history between those two than Dante realizes. But hey, we can't blame him. It's not his fault. It's the writers who apparently threw the whole GH timeline out the window. Honestly, it's ridiculous how they're rewriting everything. Brooklyn has been around forever, and if there had ever been a pregnancy or adoption, someone would have mentioned it by now. Remember when she faked the pregnancy with Valentin? That would have been the perfect time for some secret child to come up, but nope, nothing. And Brooklyn, she would have known what to expect during a pregnancy, but here we are, clueless. And let's be real, the timing doesn't even add up. It would be laughable if it weren't so frustrating. But yeah, let's go ahead and make it Dante, because why not? I'd rather it be Cody or some random guy BLQ slept with just to make Dante jealous, and surprise, it backfired. He shows up at GH, hired to investigate the Digitalis deaths, and BLQ freaks out. But no, let's leave it to the genius writers to not write anything remotely interesting. Honestly, I think fans could come up with better storylines than what we're getting at this point. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.